How exciting is it to be involved in one of the biggest tournaments in rugby league for many, many years?
I'd like to hope I'm one of the starters, but yeah, especially with it being at England, I think it's absolutely fantastic having the promotion of the women's game so close to home and bringing such a fantastic atmosphere to certain cities. I think it's absolutely amazing to have this coming to us.
What do you make of your group? Because you've got Brazil, we don't know much about Brazil. PNG, of course, you faced them not too long ago, I think before COVID, and Canada as well. What do you make of the group?
Like you said, a lot of them we don't know. Brazil, we don't really know much about. Canada, we don't really know much about. So we just know a fair bit about PNG, if not much has changed. We played a test series over there in 2019. So again, big time frame, so a lot of things could have changed, but they're frequently playing games, so it's good to keep an eye out.
And I guess it's a case of, as long as you play your game, are you going to be hard opposition for anybody in this tournament, right?
I definitely think so. I think all you have to do is look at how the league has gone this year, and I think every person that is in the squad this time round, I think has really broadcasted what they can do, and to put that ability and that team all in one place, I think that we can't go far wrong, and I think that it will look very promising.
Some exciting venues, Headingley, the New York ground, Old Trafford, the final.
Yeah.
Must be very exciting to be competing on the biggest stages, let's face it, in the country.
Yeah, 100%. Now the women's game is starting to progress, we can see that in the league, so having that for the World Cup, and hopefully that could be a benchmark for where the league starts to go, I think it's absolutely fantastic.
Three sort of main clubs in the Super League this year, wasn't there? There was St Helens, Leeds and York. Do you think it's improved over the last few years, the competition between these three sides? As we saw at the start of the Super League season, I don't know if you remember, Wigan sort of were very dominant in the league. Even a couple of years before that, Bradford, I think they won the treble, they went all season undefeated, and now you sort of think, who could win it? Is it Saints, is it York? The competition's a lot better now, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. We've really realised that with the top three teams all winning a trophy each, I think it does, just like you said, it does confirm that the league and the standard is getting much better. Individuals are really broadcasting their talents in big games, and like you said, the top three teams are dominating, but I feel like Wigan aren't far behind, and then we've got Huddersfield that are really coming into their own. So as long as those three teams are doing okay, we've still got the foundations of the other teams coming through and really proving themselves.
In other sports, I'll give you an example. There was recently the Volleyball World Championships on, and teams are, before the tournament, they're able to play lots of friendlies. Rugby League obviously is a different scenario. Apart from France and Wales, it's hard to get regular game time. So how hard is it to build a sort of momentum and spirit as a team when you can't have too many games before a World Cup?
Yeah, we do get that difficulty, but we're very fortunate enough that we train quite frequently together, and we have training days, and obviously we see each other a lot playing against each other. So yeah, it can be difficult, but I think with the level and the standard that we're training at, we can't go far wrong, really.
What's it been like working with the head coach, with Craig? Has he, because he's been in the role now for a few years, do you feel like he's really got the team going, firing on all cylinders heading into the tournament?
Yeah, Craig's been the coach since I've been in the setup, so feels like a long time now. So we've got a really good relationship with Craig, and I know a few of the others have as well. I think he's really set a good group of girls, and we're doing really sociable things to make sure that we are the closest knit group we can ever do. So I feel like Craig's really put us in a good position to go into this World Cup with all guns blazing, really.
With regards to the profile of the sport, I mean, loads of media attention, as we can see today. Attendance is steadily rising, but what do you think the sport can do to go to that next level? What do you think they should do to really step it up?
For the women's game, or for the
women's game, for the women's World Cup, yes.
I feel like having the games at such big stadiums, I think that's a fantastic start. Double headers, and we're getting more people into the stadium. It's all about the attendance, and I think England's Rugby League and the RFL have really put a lot of time and effort in recently to try and pump it on social media as well. I feel like social media presence can be massive towards a team, towards a game, towards a league. So I feel like they're doing a good job to make sure that we've got the best coverage that we can have.
And New Zealand and Australia will obviously be the two big teams coming into this tournament. Are they stoppable?
Yeah, I think so. I think we've managed to have a look at a few of the games, and honestly, I feel like with the intensity of our games, the level it's getting to, and having a watch of theirs, I feel like it's not too far off, to be honest, and I feel like the competition will be very good.
And just lastly, you mentioned, we spoke about before this, about your brother who used to play rugby league as well. Can you tell us about that? It's quite interesting, to know somebody in your family, is also involved in the sport.
Yeah, so I have a twin brother, and I played rugby with him from the ages of 6 to 11, 12. So I played in the same boys team, and then he's carried on at the hometown club. He's been signed at a few clubs as well, Bradford and Featherstone. So we've always been a very rugby dominated family. Not much other sports have come into it, so he's very supportive, and so is the rest of the family.